Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and today we'll be reading To the Obese and Previously Obese Redditors, What's Something About Obesity That Most People Do Not Know About? Part 3. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more weight loss stories. Also, just as a heads up, we've added stickers back to the merch store, so you can now find Luke Narwhal stickers in the merch store. The link is in the top comment and description below. That your level of confidence about yourself while being obese may seem normal, but when you become a healthy weight, your confidence in yourself is tenfold. Clothes shopping actually becomes enjoyable when you get to shop based on how something looks, not whether or not it fits. Also, people are just way nicer to you when you're fit. Sucks, but absolutely true. I wasn't morbidly obese, but was 5'8", 225 pounds at one point and realized, crap, being carefree in my 20s has been hell on my body and I didn't even realize it. Lost 80 pounds in about 3 months and 100 pounds in 5. I know that sounds like BS, your mileage may vary what you believe on the internet, but I did, and not necessarily advocating that anyone should. And suddenly, I was visible to people and getting dating app matches. I didn't get any more or less attracted myself and still think my face is ugly, but the weight alone makes such a difference for so many people. Sigh. Can confirm his story. I was obese, now I'm fit. I'm not even attractive, just fit, and everything's easier. I knew I got fat when I could feel my stomach moving separately from the rest of my body while walking. Disgusting. Hate it and hate the way I look currently. It's so easy to stay obese. It's also easy to fall off the wagon no matter how hard you work at losing weight. We're actually human beings with feelings, whether or not you find us aesthetically appealing. Most cardio machines have a 250 pound, 114 kilogram weight limit. Some of us have to lose weight before we can exercise. Belts and tight shorts rub the underskin on your belly. Bad rashes, and if you don't bathe, hello infections. Also, I hate eating in front of anyone, even family. I can hear them all thinking, yeah, keep eating, fatty. I haven't seen anyone mention sleep apnea. My SO went from obese to skinny, and the thing that stuck out to me was the morning I realized he wasn't gasping for breath. I'd get up first, and I'd always have to stop getting ready to check on him because his sleep apnea was so scary and horrible. Then one morning I realized I hadn't checked on him in a bit because he wasn't gasping anymore. Now he doesn't even snore. He just sleeps soundly and quietly and safely. That you're invisible and your opinion is wrong. Source, been overweight for the better part of my life. Am now healthy and fit. It's life in easy mode. None of the clothes are good. It's very hard to look good and wear comfortable clothes when you are obese. Tearing of clothes near waist, chest, lower self-worth, and self-esteem. For someone who uses food as a coping mechanism, weight loss becomes exponentially difficult. If you are sweaty, sweat creates patches on your shirt that are too embarrassing. Sometimes multiple folds near abdomen can be seen when you sit. Too uncomfortable and embarrassing that adds to low self-esteem, which triggers eating as a coping mechanism. I didn't really notice getting bigger over the years until a point. I did notice clothes and furniture getting smaller and other people getting skinnier though. But eventually I did notice I got out of breath just bending forward. Then, one day I realized the thought of walking to the train station was starting to become unfathomable to me. I've been going to the gym every day for a few weeks now. Those thoughts have subsided, but I think it's time to make some more changes here. It's actually not hard to qualify as obese. 30 BMI counts as obese. If you're 5'11" and 215 pounds, then you're at 30. Never thought I'd be counted as obese in my life, being 150 for most of my teenage and early 20s life. I'm down to 180, but wow, did 215 feel terrible health-wise. Bad skin, worse asthma, weird digestion, feeling sweaty and dirty faster, and a variety of other health issues. The plus-size clothes department is way in the back, shame, and full of horrible, sleeveless polyester crap. Shopping for clothes is utterly demoralizing, but good exercise because you can hardly find anything you would wear and that would fit, and it takes forever. You become invisible. Fat is the original cloak of invisibility. You hate yourself. At least that is how it makes me feel. You can hardly eat around other people because you are under surveillance. They watch every mouthful you eat. It's very rude, but they do that. You have to dress up and wear power jewelry to get any respect. Being overweight can quickly become a chicken and egg situation medically. Doctors are quick to blame any and all symptoms on your weight. Symptoms can make it difficult to lose weight. It's a vicious cycle. It can be very demoralizing and isolating, and it's really hard to trust doctors when their solution to everything is lose weight. I used to call it the fat just, when you feel your shirt is sticking to you a little too much, so you pull it away from you to readjust it so your rolls are not as noticeable. Also, pulling your underwear up to squeeze out the muffin top. Nowadays, I'm thankfully on the healthier weight, 80 kilograms when I used to be 120. Keto is amazing, but I still do the above since my self-esteem is zero and get too anxious around people. I lost 120 pounds, used to be a fat frig. Here's a positive spin. Now and then I'd have a very attractive woman hit on me. It was friggin' bizarre. Rare, mind you. Not a Redditor hit on, server smiling, etc., but actually hit on. Girls outright propositioning, leaning in and touching my arms, weird crap like that. I never followed up as I was married and faithful at the time, but it was friggin' startling to discover there are female chubby chasers out there. I hate myself too. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to scoot past you. I don't want to move that chair out of my way even though you can just walk through. I don't want to sit in a spot at the table that will allow me to get out easy because I hate trying to get past others. I don't want to take up a lot of space. I want to get healthy. I want to change. I don't want helpful tips unless I ask. I don't want to feel judged. I want to be happy too. No, I don't like the fat positivity movement. It's just making it okay for people to be fat instead of wanting to be healthy. No, I don't think that there is such a thing as fat and healthy. You can be fat, eating healthy and exercising and working yourself towards a healthy weight. But being fat means that you have a ton of bodily problems that have to be dealt with. I'm watching my grandma, who weighs upwards of 400 pounds, have several health problems and is in a nursing home after a 2-week hospital stay because she physically can't care for herself. If she wasn't the weight she was, then none of this would be happening. I don't want to end up there as well. I'm 5 feet and 240 pounds, so by Reddit standards that makes me 600 plus pounds by comparison and thus morbidly obese. Some of us are actively trying to lose weight, like myself. Others will eat until they die of good old diabetes and organ failure and just not giving a frig. But either way, don't assume every obese person falls under the latter category. Not only is it a stupid assumption, it may not even be true. You don't know strangers' stories until you meet them. I'm honestly surprised that I haven't gotten an "Are you pregnant?" question yet, but I'm not McDonalding myself to an early death. I used to weigh around 280 pounds back in the 8th grade, and all throughout high school my weight fluctuated between 225 and 260 pounds. It wasn't until junior year where I got all the way down to 190. A lot of back pain, man. All that extra weight you're carrying takes a damn toll on your body. I always try to encourage people who are obese or overweight. I don't want to see anyone go through the same troubles I went through. Apparently I have degenerative disc disease, and when I started getting into lifting, I wanted to try powerlifting. It was too late when I found out all the problems in my back. I developed spondylolisthesis. The discs in my L5 and S1 are thinned out and developed bone spurs. Sure, it's something I had no control over, but being overweight at such a young age most likely accelerated the decline on my back. It can be exhausting, not just physically, but mentally. I'm constantly aware of how much space I'm taking up, how close I am to other people, how large openings or halls are, etc. There's a part of my brain that is almost always making sure I don't shove or bump or knock into something. On top of that, there are basically 2 states of mind when eating. Either you tend to not be aware or thinking about it too hard, or you are hyper aware of everything. Every meal can become a mental strain of wondering if I'm eating too much, too little. Am I too obviously eating too much or too little? Should I get the same thing everyone else is getting? Am I eating more than everyone, less than everyone? What did I have earlier, etc.? Add on the fact that you're almost always fighting against getting something you really want or know you'd enjoy, forcing yourself to generally get less or something better or avoiding certain things. It's one of the reasons that falling into the sort of mindless munching or eating is so tempting, because tracking what you eat or watching what you eat is basically a full-time endeavor. Add on trying not to walk or stand a certain way, trying to keep a good posture or movement patterns. It's exhausting to think about. And all that mental exhaustion can make it hard to keep going, especially if the returns are slow. I went from 440 to 208 pounds, now 240 and bodybuilding. It is almost like a distant relic of my life. Remember that you won't be fitting on a lot of rides, seats, and back seats. When you go to a restaurant, the booth may not be viable if the table doesn't move, that you are really overcautious of sweat and sweating through your shirt. Anything past 30 seconds of working out would have you out of breath and everything would hurt. It's been 13 years since I was 440 pounds. Last year I did a push-up challenge and put 7 plates on my back. With my weight at 60% plus those 7 plates, the total push-up weight was roughly 450. I was able to do 3 push-ups at that weight. I can normally do 70 push-ups now. It's amazing how much it will affect your life. That I am not just too stupid and or lazy to care. I am actually an intelligent person and I care about looking nice. I went through some depression and difficult circumstances for the last several years, and unfortunately I dealt with that through food. It's shame that I have to wear. Also, the more you gain, the harder it is to start losing. I've started, but it's hard. Even though I'm coming out of the depression and the psyche circumstances are totally gone, I am left with habits. I am left with a body that feels old and achy and broken down. I am changing, but it's a much bigger challenge than it was when I would gain a little weight as a teenager. And that brings us to the featured narwhals of the day. Join our Reddit community to be a featured narwhal and for a chance to win some free narwhal merch. Our first and only featured narwhal of the day today is Private Donut, and they say, "This was the picture that inspired me to make a lifestyle change. I kept the shirt for comparison, surpassed my weight goal today. Roughly 18 months, starting weight 210, current weight 129 pounds. Thanks for sharing, featured narwhals. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more weight loss videos. Thanks for watching, narwhals, and I'll see you in the next one.